Picking the right niche for you and your content is crucial to your success, and in today's video, we're going to cover the important aspects you need to be aware of and address the elephant in the room should you start a new account from scratch. Let's dive in. In case you weren't aware, a niche in the world of content creation is basically the main topic that your content will be focused on. For many of you watching this video, I imagine you already know exactly what your niche is. Maybe you're a painter looking to grow your brand. Your niche is painting content. Maybe you have an online course where you teach people personal finance. Your niche would be content about personal finance. If you don't have a defined niche just yet, don't worry, because I'll outline an exercise later that will help you determine the perfect niche for you and your passions. But first, we need to outline why a niche is crucial for the growth of your content long term. Remind yourself that in order to grow a brand, go viral, all that stuff, we need to convince strangers on the internet who don't care about us at all to show interest in what we talk about. If you post incredible reels showcasing your paintings every day, odds are the followers you start to accumulate will follow you, not necessarily due to the fact that they love you, but instead because they find your videos about painting valuable, entertaining, etc. If you were to all of a sudden post content about a wildly different topic like personal finance instead of the typical painting content, that audience you've built up would likely see this content and immediately scroll past it because it's just not in line with what originally drew them to follow your account, and it could even cause them to unfollow you. Understanding how important watch time is, this immediate drop in watch time from your devoted followers will likely cause the algorithm to stop recommending this video to new audiences. In fact, this drop in watch time will actually cause a large portion of your existing followers to not even see your content to begin with. There's so much good content out there that if the platforms think your existing followers won't care about what you posted, it just won't show them the video. This is why, especially when getting started, it's extremely important to define a very clear niche for ourselves and stick to it. Now, you might be thinking, but a lot of people I follow in Love Online post about all these different topics. Aren't they breaking the rules? Now, here's the thing. Eventually, as you grow bigger and bigger over time, at a certain point, you become your niche. People aren't following you for one particular thing, they're following simply because they love you. Now, as awesome as this sounds, it takes a long time and a lot of content to develop a personal following that loves you so much they'll listen to anything you have to say. This is usually reserved only for the top 1% of creators, also known as celebrities. For the rest of us, it really is important we focus our brand on very specific topics and stay true to them as much as possible. Now, let's imagine you've had social accounts for a while and you've been posting all sorts of content, typically revolving around your life and whatever was going on. The only people who likely follow you are your close friends and family. If you're just now deciding that you want to build a brand around your passion for fishing, we're at kind of a crossroads here because that might be a little outside of what your family and friends actually care about. They might like the first 1 or 2 videos you post about fishing, but as you continue to post, they'll slowly lose interest because it's just not a topic they care about. Would it be best in this situation to just start an account over from scratch? As tough as it may sound, the answer is yes, and let me explain why. In a previous video, we outlined how the algorithm works and used an example of an account starting from scratch with 0 followers. Here, the algorithm will recommend your post to a very small group of accounts on the platform and see how they respond. If they get hooked and watch, great, you're off to the races. The only difference with an account that already has followers is that instead of showing your post to strangers who don't follow you, the algorithm will first take a small group of your existing followers, we'll call them your superfans, and measure how they interact with your new video. If the superfans stop scrolling, start watching, and immediately exit the video to continue scrolling, the algorithm is gonna look at that post and shoot it straight in the face. It's just not gonna get shared with anyone else. On the flip side, if you had started a new account and posted the same fishing content, the algorithm would analyze it and show that video not to existing followers because you don't have any. Instead, it will go out and find people that it thinks already likes fishing content and will like your video. There is a much higher chance that this group of strangers will stop and watch your full video because it's actually a topic they enjoy, compared to your past superfans who love you but care very little about fishing. Now, I know it might sound terrifying to start over from scratch, but trust me, when you follow the path taught in this program, you can grow an audience extremely fast, faster than you ever could trying to convince an existing audience who cares only for what you used to post about. Also, sometimes starting a new account is great because it removes the pressure or stress from having the people you know see this new content that you're trying to create. When you start a new account, odds are your friends and family will only see that content once it starts blowing up, and at that point, it's not embarrassing, it's just super cool. Okay, so now you know what a niche is, or niche. Some people say niche, but they're wrong. You also know why it's important to stick closely to your niche, especially at the beginning of your career. And you now know when it might make sense to start over from scratch. Now we can talk about picking the perfect niche for those of you who just joined and have no idea what the heck you want to start talking about. I want you to take a piece of paper, flip it on its side, and divide it into 4 different sections. At the top of each section, write the following words: passion, authority, audience, and profit. Now, in the first column, under the word passion, I want you to list 2 to 4 topics that you are incredibly passionate about. Topics that you could talk about for hours without stopping. Up next, I want you to rank these topics in order of most passionate to least passionate. And if you really can't decide, don't worry too much just yet. From there, take those same topics and list them out in the authority column. Now I want you to rank them in order of how much authority you have on the topic. Maybe you're a professional gymnast. Odds are that topic would be your number 1 in the authority column. Maybe you've been gardening for decades. Usually it's pretty straightforward based on how long you've been doing something or how accomplished you are in regard to a certain topic. But also, don't stress if you look at everything you've listed and you feel like you have little to no authority on the topic to begin with. At the end of the day, passion is typically the most important factor to consider, and even if you're a complete beginner but you're passionate, other passionate beginners will likely relate to your content. Then, as you can imagine, we'll repeat the same process in the audience and profit columns. List out the same topics over again in each column and start ranking them. When it comes to the audience column, you're really just trying to identify which topics have larger audiences of people that also care about those topics. Are we talking about something like gardening or cooking that have massive audiences of interested people, or are we talking about a specific subspecies of horned caterpillars that live in the Colombian rainforest? Now, I'm not saying you can't succeed creating content about a very specific and little known topic. In fact, you're gonna learn exactly how to take a narrow topic and broaden the appeal like crazy throughout this course, but total audience size is still something that's worth considering when picking a topic. Then finally, we have the profit column, which really comes down to the potential monetization strategies available to this particular topic. Going back to gardening and cooking, there are tons and tons of products that you could sell in this space. Affiliate revenue you could generate by recommending other brands' products. There are companies out there that will 100% sponsor you to promote their products. You could even create online courses. You could sell your own luxury gardening and landscaping services. And on top of that, you can generate AdSense revenue from all the views you generate. On the flip side, as much as I love horned caterpillars, there isn't as much opportunity to do all of those previously mentioned strategies, so it would rank lower in this category of profit potential. But of course, if you're not really in this to make money, then who cares about this column anyways? Regardless, now that you've completed the 4-stage ranking process, you'd want to review all of the rankings, and typically one topic stands out over all of the others. And that, my friends, is your niche. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.